Hey guys and girls, my name is Alan and welcome to today's gameplay commentary. That's right, you heard me correctly, today's an actual gameplay commentary. It feels like it's been ages since I've done one of these, and I did actually go back and have a look at how long it was since my last Call of Duty gameplay commentary, and it was a good few months ago now. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, which is mad. It doesn't seem like it's been that long since I've done one of these. I mean, I do gameplay commentaries maybe once every other week or thereabouts. I try and get one out every week, but it does depend on how busy I am, and obviously if there's other stuff going on. So for example, last week, well, technically the week before now, was the Star Wars 2 Battlefront open beta. I did manage to put in some hours. I did get some gameplay. I've uploaded a few videos to the channel at the moment, so if you're interested in checking those out, then click on the link on the screen now. I'll also link one in the description below. I do actually have a couple more gameplays that I want to share, and there are a couple of topics I want to talk about. I know that the star cards and the whole loot crate system is a big talking point, or it was a big talking point, which is why I was going to do my own video and share my insights and thoughts into that topic. And I probably will still do that. I might release it closer to launch now because, well, the launch of the full retail version, because they said they're going to adjust it slightly. Whether that's true, I don't know, and to what extent as well they can adjust it, because it's kind of built into the game, and they've said they've done a lot of balancing and stuff around that. So if they were to go back and change it all, I don't think it's any possible way they could get it out in a month, basically. So wait and see how, if anything, they change. As it stands, I don't think I'm going to get the game. But I'm interested to see what, if any, changes, as I said, they make to the loot system and the loot crates in particular. So I might release a video closer to the date talking about it more there. But it's definitely a topic I want to cover because it's kind of a big issue in the gaming world right now. And it's just becoming this thing that, well, not me personally, but as a whole, as a community, we're just sort of accepting it, and we shouldn't really be putting up with this. Some of the tactics they're employing is really shady, and when it ruins a perfectly good game. I mean, as I said, Star Wars Battlefront 2, while I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, I can appreciate that a lot of effort has gone into it. The character details, the sound, the graphics, everything looks really good. But then you've got this one glaring issue of the fact that someone who spends money on crates is more likely to, not guaranteed, more likely to get better stuff. And not only are they likely to get more better stuff because obviously they've got more crates to unlock, but potentially you get a material from those loot crates which you could then use to further upgrade the things you've already unlocked. So yeah, as I said, I will talk about it in that video sometime closer to the launch of Battlefront 2, which I think is like a couple of weeks away now. So that's I'm not giving myself a lot of time to record these videos, but it's a topic I definitely want to talk about, and I will cover at some point in the future. So stay tuned if you want to hear my thoughts. But as I said, I think it's a thing it's affecting gaming in general as a whole these days. So it's something I do want to cover, and I will share more thoughts on it when, of course, we get to the video. Okay, so speaking of videos, the gameplay you're watching is Black Ops 3. Now, I haven't actually started playing Black Ops 3 again. I just have been clearing out hard drive space, and to be honest, I really wanted to do a Call of Duty video because that leads me on to my topic, basically. And the topic I want to talk about today is, well, as you can tell from the title of the video, a broken tradition. Now, the reason why I call it a broken tradition is because from Call of Duty 4 all the way up to, I don't know, Black Ops 2, I'm tempted to say, every year, Call of Duty for me, like November was Call of Duty month, and I'd get hyped along with all my friends, and it was just exciting to see what the new game would bring and what we'd effectively be playing for the next 6 months, like pretty much solidly every night. And ever since I think Black Ops 2 onwards, I mean Black Ops 3 was okay, but the decline was pretty obvious from that point on. Ever since Black Ops 2, the games have just been pretty bad, and well, I guess that's being pretty generous, to be honest. Pretty bad, getting worse, and just continually declining. It's not the first time I've talked about this topic, but it just every year at this time of the year, November time, as I said, it used to be Call of Duty time. It used to be get hyped for the new game, get ready to play this new game, try and find out as much information about the multiplayer as possible, find out about the maps, find out about the weapons, find out about the damages, the strats, just as much information as you can get possibly, so that when you jump on, you try and do well, and obviously get some really good games under your belt. And it's fun because everyone was trying to do the same thing at the same time, and yeah, you get lobbies where they're absolutely noobs, or you get lobbies where some players who clearly already played, like, closed betas and all the rest of it, but it was just fun. And these days, as I said, because every game has just been awful, seemingly going from bad to worse every single year, it's killed the tradition for me. Basically, I don't associate November as a happy time anymore. I associate it with, well, it used to be a happy time, but now it's like, we got this game which probably will be terrible, and it's, yeah, again, it's no longer a case of me pre-ordering every single year. I mean, I didn't really pre-order every year anyway, but I'd always used to go down to the shops on the day, or I'd send, you know, my parents or my friends or whoever happens to be out at the time to pick up a copy, so that when I came home from uni, I'd be able to play it. Tell a lie, I did actually, towards the end, I did start to pre-order it because I just couldn't be asked to go to the shops anymore. It was too much of an effort to go to the shops. And I remember, yeah, that was the other thing. That's something else that's changed as well. Like, when Call of Duty was at its peak, like, all these supermarkets would have price wars, and they'd have offers and promotions, and you just don't get that anymore. And again, that's probably because the game isn't as popular as it used to be, or maybe the marketing has changed, and these supermarkets know that they can charge full whack and people will buy it day one. But back in the heyday, like Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, there was promotions. If you buy the game with some points or, you know, a PSN card, you get a discount. If you buy the, you know, deluxe edition or whatever, I never bought those, but if you bought those and you bought a PSN card, then you get it really cheap, so on and so forth. And that was all really good, because I remember distinctively as a community, we'd always try and find the best deals. People would be sharing images from, like, oh, I know a mate who has a cousin, has a sister, has a brother who works in Sainsbury's, and they know that Call of Duty is coming out for this price, or, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, it was great if the story was true, and sometimes it was, but for the most part, unless people actually provided proof like pictures or price labels or whatever, it was generally treated with a bit of doubt. I mean, rightly so, because obviously if you ain't got pics, you know, to prove what you've seen, then it's kind of hard to take your word when, as I said, you're half related to the sister's manager, brother-in-law, something or other. So yeah, it's just a tradition that's broken. And as I said, it's just a shame, because November is no longer associated with that happy sensation that it used to be for me. It used to be like Christmas come early, as sad as it sounds, like November coming out, new Call of Duty, something to get stuck into for another year, play with your mates again. You just don't get that anymore, and I think it's a real shame. And the reason why I made this video now is because it's coming up to that time again. Call of Duty month, you know, November is around the corner, and the next title is Call of Duty World War II, and yeah, it's boots on the ground again, and they've gone back in time like we requested. Well, technically, I didn't request to go into the future, so when they say, oh, we'll be listening to your feedback and we're going back in time now, no, because you wouldn't have changed anything from the modern setting that I requested in the first place. That's all I wanted. All I ever wanted was a continuation of the Modern Warfare series. So it was rumoured that Modern Warfare 4 was going to come out after Modern Warfare 3. That was wrong. I think the developers probably should have just done Modern Warfare 4, because everyone would have been happy with that. But then we got, I think, was it Ghosts after Modern Warfare 3 from IW? Yeah, I think it was Ghosts. And, well, we all know how well that was received. And then more recently they made Infinite Warfare, which was quite possibly the most unsuccessful Call of Duty to date. Closely followed by Advanced Warfare, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, again, that leads me on to the topic that we're talking about today. And so, Sledgehammer Games, who made Advanced Warfare, my least popular Call of Duty title to date, by the way. Which is why I'm treating this release very tentatively. It's great that it's boots on the ground again, and it's great that they're going back to World War II. I mean, I'm not too bothered about the setting, I just prefer it to be boots on the ground. I mean, I don't really get into all this sci-fi, space, jumpy stuff, so I prefer the boots on the ground, and that's fine by me. But it's not just the genre, so it's not necessarily because it's World War II that I'm going to enjoy the game. You know, it's obviously the gameplay, the weapons, the balancing, the matchmaking, that sort of thing. And one of the things about Advanced Warfare is that, I mean, they talked about it and it seemed great at the time, but when you actually got to play it, it was just really chaotic, and the maps didn't flow very well. And even though they made a boots on the ground playlist, if you didn't play with jetpacks, these maps just did not flow well at all. It was awful. And the boost jumping, as I said, was just so crazy. Like Black Ops 3, they did it in a sort of controlled manner, so yeah, you could jump around, but you had to do it in a certain way to get around efficiently. Whereas in Advanced Warfare, it was literally press a button, bang, 20 feet in the air, to the left, to the right, forward, backwards, whatever it was. And that was just crazy. Too much to handle. And it's not because I can't deal with that sort of speed of gameplay. I just don't enjoy it. That's not why I got into Call of Duty in the first place. If that's what Call of Duty 4 was to start off with, you could be damn sure I wouldn't have bought all the rest of the games. So I just think, I don't know, I'm treating it with a lot of caution, because, as I said, there's some things that just won't come to light until the game launches. Things like skill-based matchmaking. They haven't talked about it. It was a fairly hot topic at the launch of Advanced Warfare, and again, like the way they talked about it at the start of the game, it sounded great, but then when I actually played it, you realise that every single lobby felt like a competitive playlist. And I don't want to play like that every single match all night long, you know. Yeah, it's good to have a league play system where you can go and, you know, try your hardest with some mates, or play against some pubs, against some other pubs, but, you know, with league rules. But I don't want it to be every single game to be sweat my ass off, you know. That's just not I don't know, to me that's just not what Call of Duty is about. It's meant to be fun, it's meant to be casual. It's great that they're adding competitive playlists to the game, because that's something that I really enjoyed in Black Ops 2, as I've said in previous videos, but I just don't want it forced upon me like constantly in every single match. So I don't know, I'm gonna wait and see what the reviews say, what some of the other YouTubers say before I decide to get the game or not get the game. But yeah, it's such a huge shame that Call of Duty just doesn't bring the same sort of sense of excitement and enjoyment as it used to. I don't know if you kind of follow what I'm saying. I guess it really depends on how old you are. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who have started playing Call of Duty only once they started adding all these jetpacks and stuff. So you guys, I guess, are in the younger generation. So I'm excited for you to experience a boots on the ground Call of Duty, if that's the case, because it is an entirely different experience. But at the same time, I think it's kind of sad that Call of Duty started off boots on the ground, had a great following of players, and then decided they were going to move in a different direction, and then they just forgot all these old players. Not old, but like, all these veteran players, all these legacy players, they moved on to a new crowd, which is fair enough. I mean, the market's big enough to create 2 different games, and now they've got 3 developers on a 3-year cycle. I don't understand why they can't have each developer doing its own thing. So maybe Advanced Warfare could be futuristic, maybe Treyarch could be historical, and Infinity War can do what they do best and stick to the present day setting. Anyway, so yeah, the gameplay's come to an end. I didn't really talk about it too much. It's kind of self-explanatory anyway. Safeguard, one of the game modes I really did enjoy from Black Ops 3, and I have a crap ton of footage left on my hard drive that I could still potentially upload. This was just a good match that I found, so I thought I'd upload it and talk about Call of Duty. And yeah, there's a few more topics I want to cover, and I really do enjoy doing gameplay commentaries. I really like just getting things off my chest. It's just a nice feeling to just talk about stuff, So yeah, I know, join in the conversation. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the situation. Is Call of Duty, the same sense of enjoyment as it was always, or has it sort of changed like it has for me? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the content, whether it's commentary or the gameplay or maybe both, tap that like button. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I won't leave it too long until the next gameplay commentary, but as I said, it all depends on my schedule. But I do have plenty of videos I want to put out. It's just whether or not I can get them out, in time, in between work and all the day-to-day stuff I need to do with my life. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later.